So Chris Colbert is asking Mr. Gary Russell Jr. for a fight. All right, let's talk about it.
Push the weight in no flex. The live is one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You were running, motherfucker, high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Things out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. So someone sends me this screenshot. Chris Primetime Colbert. So I'm assuming this is him. I see that check mark is verified. He says, yo, at Mr. Gary Russell Jr., we both coming off of losses. Let's give the fans what they want. Oh. The fans what they want. Well, Chris, what I wanted was for you to fight O'Shaquie Foster. You know, I'm gonna be all over the place here, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know what I wanted you to do. What was it, last year or maybe a year and a half ago? I wanted you to show up to the barbershop and address the people that support you. Salute to Fred, Barbershop Conversations. I wanted you to show up there, but you stuck him up that night. I don't know if you even apologized to him or rescheduled. You couldn't reschedule because you ain't been on the show that I seen. So you're campaigning at 1:30, and Mr. Gary Russell fought this kid Max Sayo, I believe, with one hand. One hand. And came up short. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And you're coming off a loss. But right now, what I want you to do, Chris, is to run that back with Garcia. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Give the fans what they want. You see, Chris, you seem to think that you have this fan base that forget that the Max, not the Max, that will forget that this fight happened with you and Garcia. Young man, your fan base doesn't exist on that level. Your fan base, you don't have a fan base that exists that's going to allow you to like ignore what we just saw. You got beat like a drum. And Gary Russell didn't take a loss like that. You was favored to win. You was throwing bombs in there, and Garcia called you a clown, and he made you look like it. So I put the picture of you on your back. And the reason why I did that, I'm being a lot petty right here. Not a little, but a lot petty. Because, young kid, you was feeling yourself. I mean, you was feeling yourself on a level that I didn't think possible for a guy that really hasn't done anything in the sport outside of advertise for OnlyFans, wear gloves that the color kind of makes sense to what I'm speculating, and you got your hair dyed all blue. And Garcia went in there and put you on your back. Now, here's the deal. I am clowning you. I am roasting you. But here's the deal, Chris. You don't have a fan base that's going to forgive this loss. It happened. Even if Gary Russell says, F it, let's make some money, everyone's going to be asking you to run this back with Garcia. He beat you. Now, I'm going to say this. The PBC sees some potential in you for them to get behind you. You know, Showtime gives you a deal. And I'm going to speculate that you know that if you fight this kid Garcia again and he has a repeat performance, you're fearful that this Showtime thing won't work out for you. Well, two things here. You may think that you get in there with Gary Russell, you're a little bigger than him because you're bringing him up from 126 to 130. I don't think it's going to matter because he's a better boxer than you, young man. You might be thinking, okay, if I lose 2 in a row and one of them is Gary Russell, at least I can say it's Gary Russell. But, young man, your Showtime deal may still be in jeopardy. I don't know what kind of business you have worked out with them, but that'll be 2 losses in a row. You don't have a big enough fan base for them to support you beating on a ham and egger, you know, as if they will just say, okay, well, at least Colbert got a win in. I don't care how many sombreros you wear to the ring. Those people don't love you like that. See this picture here? Garcia puts you on your back. So speaking of that word back, you need to run it back. Get off your back and run it back. You don't have the support like Vasily Lomachenko had with HBO and his limited fan base, but he had to play the complexion for the protection. You don't share that luxury, young man. See, Lomachenko could have 1 billion amateur fights and then come over here and be groomed and win his first pro fight and then lose his second one to a journeyman in Orlando Salido. Did he ever run that back? No, he didn't. In fact, they tried to erase that loss from history. See, there you go. That number 14 is way after the number 2. And somehow, it's not there. And that was on ESPN, young man. You don't have that luxury. Okay? That's why I put this picture here. I don't do things by accident. That's what they remember. That happened. All right? But Lomachenko, and the help of the machine of grand scheme, that which we call boxing, Lomachenko gets treatment. And that treatment, that preferential treatment, produces casual fans in abundance like this.
Unified, undefeated. Unified, undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What the hell is even that?
Chris, you ain't got fans like that. I'm not going to say you never will because, I mean, look, it's a loss. You come back. But see, in your position, you got this money from Showtime. You're getting airplay and you're coming out dressing really noticeable. I'll just say that. And what else you got going for yourself, young man? I mean, I don't know. One more loss might put that in jeopardy. But for you to be calling out the smaller Gary Russell, you know, there's a lot, all this talk about weight bullies and stuff. For you to call out the smaller Gary Russell, that raises my eyebrow. You think Gary Russell is easier work than Garcia? How about this? I'm going to make a suggestion. If Gary Russell wants to, and I'm going to reach out to Batman. Maybe Gary Russell, if he does go up to 130, maybe he should fight Garcia and show you how it's done. How about that? I mean, it don't matter whether I root for Chris or not, because according to him, my people, these people, they don't support. So don't worry about that. You got Garcia problems, young man. Go fix that. Don't call out Mr. Gary Russell. He's on another level. He's on a whole other level. If you fight him, you'll be more worried about your Showtime deal than a little bit. So salute to Mr. Gary Russell. Prime time, get off your back, run it back with Garcia and make it right. Do what Vasily Lomachenko didn't do. Run it back after his loss. It's only a loss. It's boxing. Go get it back. Show us you're a warrior. You got time. You're young. Get it together. Bronx on deck. Move!